Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk Antiques with David Pennington. Wait a minute, let me turn you on there.
Philip Scoggins.
All right, I got his name. And Ronnie.
Yeah, we're all here and ready to go this morning.
Star of Stage and Screen. I can't talk right this morning.
What the heck's wrong with you today?
I'm tongue-tied.
Too much swap and shop.
That's what it is. My tongue is tired.
At least you can say swap and shop, right?
Well, yeah, but I better not now. We'll start
Say
getting
it. Let's
told.
just see how you say it.
Swap and
And he
slop
can
and
say
shop.
rare and vintage and collectible. He can say rare and vintage, collectible.
Yeah, can you
Collectible?
say that? Can you say
Yeah.
rare and vintage?
Rare and vintage.
I tell you what,
There you
for a
go.
dang lieutenant, he's come a long way.
Coming all right. Yeah, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
But what are we going to talk
All
about
right, we're going
today?
to talk about vintage candy containers. You know what a candy container is today, don't you, Howard?
Empty.
Well,
It was in my house.
well, if you was to like zip out Walmart and
Oh,
you was hunting candy in a container, it'd be a plastic bag. wouldn't it?
probably a plastic bag. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a couple of plastic containers.
Well,
Yeah,
now,
but
things,
not like
but
it
not-
used to be.
no,
not
the only
many.
thing I know that's really that you see a lot of containers is
Yeah.
the Pez.
Well, now there's like little Hello Kitty plastic things with candy inside them. So
Yeah.
they just cost so much more than the plastic
And,
wrap
and
ones.
some,
Hey, Phil,
sometimes you'll
Will you
find
show
like
Howard that vintage container you were showing us a
I
while
did.
ago?
Yeah, sure.
yeah, sometimes around Christmas you find like nice little coffee cup with candy cane
Yeah.
stuck in it. You'll see that occasionally,
Well,
but it's
yeah,
not like
that's
it
not
used
No,
to be.
that's not a container, though.
No, not really. Yeah, it's not like it used to be. And I know where you're going, and I
Well,
got a couple of those.
Okay, well, tell them, Howard. The different. You got some different versions.
Well, I got some really neat, like Santa Claus on skis.
Yeah, that's a good
Okay.
one.
And his pouch is open, and I think it used to have candy, and of course it's sold. I don't remember what they were. Probably peppermint candy canes, you know.
Okay, that would make sense.
And
Or hard candies.
yeah, and then I got a real neat paper mache Santa boot.
Oh, wow.
That's probably about a foot tall.
That's different.
And
I don't know what was in it.
why do you? How has it survived? I guess.
I
would be the
don't
question
know.
for me.
It's
Well,
one
I'll
of
tell
those
you how-
strange things.
No,
It has-
it's really easy with him. He saves everything.
well, I'm a
Do you save
hoarder.
stuff
I'm
and
a
Yeah.
put it
hoarder.
away so
well,
it
I
don't
don't
get
think.
messed
I
up?
think you say good
My
stuff.
last name should be Pennington.
All right. Well, now I understand. Then never mind.
But no, I don't know why it's survived. But
Isn't there a difference between hoarding and collecting?
yes, sir.
I thought,
I'm a
I
collector.
thought there was. We'll all agree.
I don't think you. I mean, you don't say plastic bags. Well, you might.
Well,
Newspaper.
Not a room full.
I got a
of
room full of plastic.
Well, I mean, even Nancy saves those when she goes to the store. Saves them to put stuff in. But
I save them too. Put them in
Yeah.
my little garbage cans.
yeah.
It's whether you have a cabinet
bathroom.
full
Well-
or a room full.
Well, let me say. Well, maybe. Let me try another example. Milk jar. Well, no, I better not say milk jar because
I
probably
say
saves them
those.
to put screws in or something.
Coffee cans.
Well, no.
I
I
do
keep
too.
those, boy.
Yeah, you remember. Everybody used to save their coffee cans.
For
I
sure.
still do.
I got.
Do you
I,
still save yours?
I got.
Nuts
They're
and
full of
bolts.
nuts and bolts and screws.
Yes.
That I can never find the one I want, so I have to go buy more. But
Um,
you know,
I tell you what, this gentleman, he's dead and gone now, but he used to save glass jars, like baby food jars, or a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit bigger. And he made me the neatest boat holder.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
he really made it for Nancy, and I took it over. We just got, I put, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 12 of those glass jars, and he put it on a wheel that would spin.
oh, okay.
Put your, and you screw the lid to a piece of wood.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah,
those. Yeah.
and then I tell you what, you talking about handy?
That's really neat. I've
Yes.
seen those. Those are handy.
Well, it looks
But-
like you already got a call.
Okay, let's see. Maybe we got somebody calling in here.
Is that for us?
I hope
That's for Howard, his girlfriend.
you're on. Let's Talk Antiques.
He's going to say swap and shop.
Hello. Hello. Whoops.
You know what?
They must have thought it was swap and shop.
Yeah.
What is,
You told them all. Hey, now Howard, I see one Santa Claus, and it's Now was yours? What was yours made out? Is yours paper mache?
But the boot is paper mache.
Now what about the Santa Claus with the
They're plastic.
or Bakelite? Could it be Bakelite?
No, I think it's plastic. I don't think it's.
Here's a Bakelite.
Bakelite brings big money, believe
Yeah,
it or
here's a
not.
Bakelite
Yes.
Santa Claus. He brought 680.
680.
Yeah, and then here's
Oh my goodness.
let me see. Here's another a candy container Santa Claus. and he's 515. Looks like I think we got a call again.
Okay, let's try it again and see if we get.
Okay.
You're on Let's Talk Antiques.
Yes, I was wondering, old license plates, are they worth anything?
Absolutely. Have you got a particular license plate in mind?
Well, no, not really. My dad just had a bunch.
Hang on just a second. Howard, turn my volume up just a little bit on my headphones. All right, say something now.
My father, he had a lot where he owned an auto salvage, and he's passed away now, and he would just always take them off of cars. So they're like, you got Arkansas, like Texas, Georgia, and just all kinds. And so I was just wondering if were they worth anything.
Oh, absolutely they are. Do you know what years you have?
Oh my goodness, I don't. But I mean, just all kinds of years, like 1978, but I'm gonna do some research and see.
Yeah, I'll tell you the easiest way to do that, and it's a handy tool for us, and it's the quickest way. I mean, you can buy books to do that, but time you buy a book, like say a brand new volume on collecting, say license plates. The time you get that book, it's already a year old because they spent over a year to do the research, and then time they print it. So up to date, the best way to do it is go to eBay, put in that particular plate you got, your license plate, and then are you familiar with eBay?
A little bit.
Okay, so say if you pull that item up, if you look up there, there's a window, and it'll say it'll be at the top right, and it'll say view, and if you hit that little arrow, it'll say highest price. It usually says price and shipping and then high. You hit that one, and then you scroll down on the left, and if you'll look, you'll see another thing that says sold items and completed items. You hit that, and that when that pops up, it should be in green, and that is absolutely a sold item when you see a green number.
Okay.
Okay.
All right then.
You definitely got something there though. So, license plates, especially the the ones that's embossed nowadays, are just flat. So the embossed ones, even the newer ones, are not bringing a lot right now, but they do bring some money. But you can hang on to those, and they'll be bringing a lot of money one day because the embossed license plate's gone. But even though you still got some.
Yeah. Yeah.
All righty.
Thank you a lot.
Okay. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, one thing about those license plates, a lot of times a man or a woman that has an old restored car, they want a license plate that's that year that they can put on that car when they take it to the car show. Usually put it on the front. Yeah. But when they go to the car show, they like to say 1960 because they have a 1960 car that they're showing off.
Or if you have specialty ones like a well driller one or things like that
you
kind of
got
stuff.
one.
I've got some of those, a stack of those.
Oh, that's nice.
But those are
more
specialty
rare,
ones are the
see.
ones that bring a little more.
Even the new tags today, you can actually go and 8 digits. You can come up with a name or something.
Yeah.
And I've got a bunch of those, and those are going to bring some money one day.
Yeah.
Because there's one of them, not thousands.
Right.
True.
Like I got the original Bonnaroo tag. It actually
Oh,
says
really?
Bonnaroo on it.
Wow,
I got it
awesome.
through my name on my car.
Really?
Cool about that.
And I even got the one for my motorcycle that says Bonnaroo.
Well, how many letters
Well,
does
you have to adjust it.
You have to extrapolate a little.
Yeah, just a little.
Well, the license plate on the motorcycle sticks out about a foot on either side of the bike.
But what I did though, I bent that license plate down so it had wind, so it'd get more.
Okay, lift, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, what about the history of candy containers? Kind of give us a basic idea. Like my version of candy containers today is say like what those little chocolate things everybody gets, Hershey's Kisses.
Oh, the
Yeah, you don't get them in containers no more. You get them in a bag.
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
Okay, so there was a time when candy came in its own novelty packaging, such as paper mache pumpkins, a glass bear, or a plastic robot. Today, candy containers bring delight in all manner of collectibles, as the subject form of the container often carries it over into many different collecting categories. Years before glass and then plastic became the norm, paper mache was the preferred material for candy containers. So that means your boot is extra old.
Yeah, it is. I would say it's
Yeah.
from the 40s.
Okay.
I really think it is.
It probably is. Now you haven't been trying to. Don't put no wax on it. and
Oh, no,
polish
no,
it.
yeah,
You
I
ain't
had-
trying to polish it.
No, I
I
haven't.
know you military guys want to be able to see your face
Right,
in
right.
your
You
boots, but
spit shine.
yeah, don't do that to that. Don't spit
And
shine
don't
that.
and don't touch up those little nicks and stuff because
Yeah.
that's patina now.
Yeah. During the 19th century, chocolates were sold in black cats for Halloween, turkeys for Thanksgiving, and Santa Claus for Christmas. Paper mache Santas often had furry beards and felt stocking caps. Other popular shapes include dogs, cats, angels, bells, baskets, boxes, fruits, and musical instruments, among others. Store owners would often hang these collectible containers in shop windows to attract customers, many of whom would save the packages once the candy was gone to use as a form of a cheap children's toy or Christmas ornament. Late in the century, paper mache gave way to glass. During the late 1940s, plastic pieces began showing up on glass containers. By the 1960s, glass candy containers were still being produced in limited quantities aimed at adults, but the industry was taken over by plastic, which was colorful and cheaper to produce. Licensed candy containers remain dominant today, including superheroes, Star Wars, and video game characters. Most authorities hail the Liberty Bell, produced for the 1876 Centennial International Exhibition, as the first official glass candy container released in America. This patriotic event, which was the first official World's Fair in the United States, was held in Philadelphia from May 10th to November 10th to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Nearly 10 million visitors descended on the city of brotherly love for the celebration, but it is unknown how many Liberty Bell candy containers were sold. Interestingly, the bell was manufactured on site by Croft Wilbur and Company in the exhibitioner's machinery hall, as indicated by the sticker on the bottom. It was made from blown glass and features a concave base with clapper molded into the glass. The bell, which can be found in clear or dark blue glass, reads 1776 Centennial Exposition 1876 on the front and Proclaim Liberty throughout all the land on the back. It has a pewter screw-on closure on top and a simulated crack running up from the base. Jim Ingle, the president of the Candy Containers Club of America, has been actively collecting candy containers for more than 2 decades. He said, "We started collecting glass candy containers over 20 years ago." He said, "My wife's folks moved to a smaller home, and among the stuff that ended up at our house were 2 lantern candy containers. That pair of seemingly innocent items led to an obsession." So, should we take our first break here and come back and roll with
first
it
of
with
all,
this?
do you want to pay the bills?
Would be nice.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy pick.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
I'm out of practice. I missed last week.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. So we're learning a little bit about these candy containers.
Right.
Howard and I do have some, and I think Ronnie, do you have any?
No, not really any old ones.
You don't? Do you?
I've got a couple of old Pez containers I've hung on to.
Well,
but that's
There's
about
a
it.
big collectors on the
Oh,
Pez stuff.
that's a
isn't
big
it? That's a
deal.
big
I've got
deal.
a couple of Star Wars Pez's that I've hung on
have
to.
you got a little bit more to inform people?
Yeah.
No, I do.
You told them about the Liberty Bell.
So Jim Engel, we're back with him, the president of the Candy Containers Club of America. He said some of his favorite containers in his collection include the trio of taxis from the West Limousine collection, circa 1912. There's a green, yellow, and a black and white taxi, each with details such as a radiator cap, beveled doors and windows, and pierced tin wheels that are mounted on axles to pass through the glass flanges. Those are worth about $600 to $700 each in nice condition. He's also proud owner of a Kitty's golf bag container. Only 2 are known to exist, and several pieces of the Flossie Fisher furniture line. Flossie Fisher was a comic strip character appearing in Flossie Fisher's Funnies, which ran in the Ladies' Home Journal from around 1910.
That's why we don't know nothing about it, Howard.
Right,
Yeah.
Ladies'
Yeah.
Home
I did
Journal.
it 3 times fast.
Yeah, I did pretty good on that, I think.
Yeah.
They did an ad on a comic book or something. We might
Yeah.
know it.
In 1916, the George Borgfeldt Company created 7 different yellow candy containers shaped like furniture and decorated with black Flossie Fisher Funnies silhouettes. So they had a bed that's worth $2,000, a chair $300, a rocking chair, and a china closet $700, a dresser $900, a sideboard $450, and a table $950.
Sounds like swap and chop.
Each container is made of folded tin with a glass panel that lets you view the candy contained inside. There were glass containers, candy containers produced for seemingly every possible subject, including animals, vehicles, luggage, lighting, musical instruments, telephones, windmills, and more. Vintage pieces range in price from about $20 to several $1,000s. Engel enjoys the social and even educational elements of the hobby more than the financial aspects. He and his wife joined the Candy Container Collectors of America years ago to become better informed.
So you got some sold ones there that actually brought at the auction. So what have you got there? And then we'll go to our buddy Mr. eBay and see what he's found. You want to do that, Harry?
Well, I was going to make a comment before you do
Go
that.
ahead.
I can
Okay.
remember, and I don't know where they are. I'm thinking I might still have them somewhere. Glass containers, candy containers, but they were shaped like tanks and ships
Right.
from probably World War II.
You know, Mayor Myers, he was the mayor here in the 70s, and he was a World War II. Matter of fact, he's a lieutenant commander in the
Uh-huh.
Navy.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so we was over to his house in the 70s, and my wife and I, and he gave her a little dog container, a glass container,
Uh-huh.
that he had when he was a little kid.
Oh, boy.
And she still got it to this day.
Wow. I like that.
So,
So those
but
tanks,
the thing like that though, you gave them to kids to eat the candy, and they played with them a while, and then probably dropped them and broke them or chipped
left
them, and
them
then,
laying.
or threw them away. But they got thrown away, and that's why these things are so expensive
oh
today.
yeah.
I've got an Honest Abe, got his own posthumous candy container. It looks like paper mache. This antique example from Germany sold on eBay recently for more than $250. And also produced by Playwood, a subsidiary of Transogram. This careful, chubby candy cop, it's like a policeman clown thing, produced around 1940, is worth around $1,000 as pictured in came with the original box. Those are all the only examples we have of the ones with prices. Also, they do have the pictures of the Flossie furniture ones, which were all, I guess just tin type
Glass,
kind of
aren't they?
things, and then they have glass to like show
Yeah.
to hide the stuff behind. But no, we don't have prices on those.
Well, here, I know where prices are.
There you go.
Right there on eBay.
There you go.
On eBay, we've got some. Let's see, Saint Nicholas, 1920s vintage German candy container. Erzenberg is set on. They were asking $4,600. They took a best offer, but it was over $2,500.
Now, if you see one with skis,
I will
we know
point it
who
out. Yeah,
got one of those.
got an antique Santa Claus doll container made in Germany with the box. They were asking $2,500 as a buy it now, and got that. Here's a pretty cool vintage vintage Santa paper mache candy container, Germany, 1940s. 16 bids, $2,157.
I'm going to put that boot on there.
There you go. Yeah.
No telling what that was.
Well, yeah.
I'd hold off
I'm
for
go-
just wait till after Thanksgiving, so
Yeah,
people
I'll
are
get a
getting
little
in
closer to
a little
Christmas.
Christmas. Yeah,
I can just see something going on. That might pay for Christmas.
Now you have a few more containers too. You gonna put them on eBay? too?
Might, just you never know.
Here's a vintage 1950s Rosbro witch on a motorcycle plastic candy container. She's got a jack-o'-lantern sitting behind her. 23 bids on that one. $1,535.
I'm over here hurting.
That's a lot of money for a candy container.
Hey Howard, I wonder how much in the 40s, if you bought that little candy container with the candy in, I wonder how much that was. That
Couldn't
had
have
to
been
be.
much.
Probably $1.98 or something. I
that's-
think that dollar was a lot of money.
No,
back
I'd
then.
say
You
it
sure
was.
it wasn't like a nickel
No,
or a
this
dime?
is like little
Little
candy.
candy.
You
Yeah,
know?
I know,
It's
but
probably
you
5
sure that
cents.
ain't like a
if-
nickel
if
or a
the
dime?
most.
Could have been. Who knows? But when people were making less than $1 an hour. A lot of times back in the 30s and the 20s. And you go back even further. It's
Yeah. I remember when people was making $15 a week when I was a little kid.
yeah,
$15 a week.
a week.
But back to candy.
Yeah.
Vintage German Halloween
Get him all tore up.
or Christmas candy container egg, and it's an egg of the man in the moon. 19 bids on that, $1,330. Here's an odd one. Is a rare antique German candy container. This is is that paper mache? It must be $1,300 for a turkey
Good Lord.
candy container. Yeah. Here's another antique German. It's a woodcutter Santa candy container. Buy it now is $1,300 on that one.
How about that?
No telling how many we've had in our hands.
Yeah.
Rare Rosenbrand Magic Pot Black Cat candy container store display. So this is the store display for Magic Pot candy. $1,200 for that.
Would that be $1,200, Howard?
Yes.
All that
I
long.
think so.
Here's an unusual is antique Halloween hand painted paper mache candy container. It says vegetable witch on it, so it's like a old lady painted. Boy, it sure looks like there's a mouse hanging out of her mouth, but no, I couldn't.
Maybe it's a pipe.
There you
Is
Yeah,
it
go.
a
right.
pipe?
No, I don't
No?
think so. She's got her hands in her pockets too.
Maybe she
So
did take a bite of a mouth.
I don't know. It's
She's
a
a wi-
Halloween
she's a witch,
so
yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
so.
She can do what she wants.
Yeah, 21 bids on that, $1,025. Here's a 40-inch tall paper mache German Santa container. 13 bids on that, $905.
40
Oh,
inches
with
tall, that's a lot
$100
of
shipping,
candy.
so that's $1,000. Sorry.
That's a whole lot of
That brought a lot of teeth out.
Yeah.
And no candy.
No, you don't even get any
no
candy.
candy.
with it.
That's
Here's a antique vintage pair of Christmas reindeer candy containers. One bid on those was $1,000 with free local pickup.
Oh,
that's
yeah. Free local.
You know, if you bought a few more of those reindeer, and then you'd have to buy the candy container sled before you know it, and then Santa Claus, you could have $10,000 in a display.
In your little
Yeah.
display. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Here is a antique vintage Thanksgiving turkey candy container. I believe it's paper mache, but it's got metal legs. Now this one doesn't have the tail all spread out. This is just this isn't a gobbler. This is just a hen, and standing up straight. So 49 bids on that one though, went for $1,000. Here's a rare 1927 Indian motorcycle with sidecar candy container. There's 3 of these.
Are those glass? They
It's
look
1927. It's got to be glass.
glass. Yeah, they
But
look
it-
glass just looking at them.
Let's see.
Did it say?
We're gonna glass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Manufactured by Victory Glass Company.
Mhm.
So
Got a lot going for it. Not only is it a candy container, it's an Indian
Yeah.
motorcycle.
Yeah.
and that went for $900. Was it with $25 shipping? I was making sure that wasn't $250 shipping.
I think that number, that's neat.
Yeah. The vintage Rosen Halloween pumpkin candy toy container and store display box. Okay. So this is a Halloween candy display box with pumpkins that have candy inside them.
How
So,
much are they on the box?
the box says they're 19 cents a piece. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the box.
So it must have been a dozen to start with.
Probably so. Probably a dozen. So, and it went for $900. $2. So
Hey,
it's
Howard.
candy.
Yeah.
That last commercial, was that enough to pay the light bill, or do you need to take one more?
We got about a minute to go if you wanted to cover
All right.
something. Or you want me to go to
Well, no, it's all right. I
Well,
just
if you're
wanted to-
ready to swap.
Are you ready?
Whenever you're ready.
Well, all right. Go ahead and pay it. Will this pay for the light bill?
Yeah, well, probably some of it.
Oh, some of it.
And we haven't even put the Christmas lights on the tower yet.
Yeah, I know. Hey, you just wait though. We got some surprises on these candy containers.
Oh boy, I'll
We're
tell
going
you.
to different ones too, aren't we?
Okay, we'll be back shortly.
Hello, I'm Pickin' Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy pick.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
All right, we're back.
All right.
Okay.
So now we've changed just to plastic, right?
Right. We're only on plastic at this point.
Containers, candy
Yes.
containers.
Right.
Okay, so we've got a 1950s Halloween plastic witch candy container. This witch is looks like she's riding on a rocket or some kind of a jet plane rocket,
Which?
and she's got jack-o'-lanterns for the wheels so you can roll it around. It says it's 8 inches long and 5 3/4 inches tall, so it's a pretty decent sized candy container. 18 bids on that, $661.
Wow.
That's just hard to think that somebody
Blows
would
your
think to keep something like that.
That would make you want to keep something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here is a rare vintage Rossbro Party Goer Boy, hard plastic Halloween candy container. So this is like a little boy who's on his way to a Halloween party, and it's got a string attached to a
Like a pool toy, yeah.
yeah, it's a little wagon type thing he's standing in, so you can just pull it. There's 2 of them. The first one had 26 bids and sold for $355, and the second one had 27 bids and sold for $343. There's another one of the first witch I think we had, which is the witch on the motorcycle. But this one actually looks in better condition, but didn't sell for near like $1,000 less, $330 for this
Yeah.
one. So
How about the black rocket there?
here's one of the witch on a rocket car.
Kind of like the other one.
It looks like the other one, but this one's instead of being clear is black. Yeah, 12
With orange
bids.
wheels.
With a
Yeah, well,
pumpkin
it's a
wheel.
jack-o'-lantern, so yeah.
Oh, this is jack-o'-lantern?
Yeah, sure. So
I'm not a pumpkin.
12 bids, $306. Here is a vintage plastic cocoa mold jack-o'-lantern Halloween candy container basket, which everybody my age from the 70s, everybody had one of these. 22 bids, $303.
Still got yours?
I might have one. Mine's not in as good a shape as this one though, but
Well, maybe it only bring 200.
maybe it'll only bring 200. Yeah, that's what you got. Here's a.
Check that witch out with the green wheels.
Oh, that's.
The other one have green wheels too?
Yes, they did. So another witch on a motorcycle. That one brought $300.
Yeah.
Here's an odd one. Is a Halloween donkey, hard plastic candy container, and so it's a donkey with the wheels on his feet. So
He's
you
got a
can
jack-o'-lantern in his
and,
mouth.
yeah, jack-o'-lantern in his mouth. So
And that's where the candy goes.
I don't know. Maybe you open him up. You can't really tell how big it is from the picture.
I'm like a
But
peanut.
anyway, somebody knew what it was, and 21 people bid on it and it went for $277. And there's another one just like it that somebody sold that took a best offer. They were asking $400, went for less. Here's
Here's a good one.
a vintage Merry Christmas drum plastic Santa. So it's Santa standing on a little platform. He's got drumsticks in his hand, and he's, I guess it's a marching drum, the big bass drum, and it says Merry Christmas on the drum. It says it's 10.5 inches, so it's a
Fairly good big.
pretty decent size.
Yeah.
21 bids, $266.
And that's made out of plastic.
Yep.
Wow.
Here's another Halloween party goer, but this is a girl instead of a boy, and she's wearing a costume and holding her jack-o'-lantern candy container. Oh, I think the top of the jack-o'-lantern opens up into her dress so that she could fill it up with candy.
Yeah.
21 bids on that, $230.
How about a train?
Hard plastic Christmas train engine candy container, also a pull toy. 10 bids, $228. Man. Let's see.
There's a snowman.
Here is a Halloween snowman. I guess.
Halloween
It's
snowman.
orange. hair.
Well, yeah.
Oh, he's
that's-
orange. Oh, okay.
And so maybe
Seen
they.
orange snow hair.
Stop it.
I've seen yellow snow.
No,
Oh, yeah.
They probably had some left over from Christmas and painted them orange and figured they'd try and sell them again. But 20 bids on that, $190. Tell ya. Here's a vintage lot of plastic Halloween candy containers. It's got a Halloween clown, a Halloween a scarecrow with a jack-o'-lantern head, and another, I believe that's a clown that's also a pull toy. And then there's a winged jack-o'-lantern that's a pull toy. 21 bids for that. It only went up to $182.
is that all?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
cheap.
Here's another Halloween snowman.
But he's got a white hat.
He's got a white hat with a skull and crossbones on it. 1950s, 1960s. 31 bids, $182.
He looks like an orange frosty.
That's exactly what he is, yeah. Here's a pair of witches riding brooms. Candy containers, yeah. 17 bids, $153. These are still bringing a lot of money. Here's a Halloween pig in a costume candy container, sucker holder, hard plastic. So he's got his little hat on top of his head has a hole in it to hold your sucker, and he's got I don't know. He's kind of painted almost like a raccoon. I don't know. They were asking $250 and only got about $150 for it.
Is
So.
that all?
Yeah.
Only 150 now.
Here's a 1950s plastic jack-o'-lantern playing an accordion candy container. 16 bids on that, went for $147. A vintage Halloween plastic candy container. It's a cat and a pumpkin on wheels. So it looks like a cat pushing the pumpkin. And they're both on wheels. So 12 bids, $132. Got to finish your collection.
My goodness.
See if we can get something
so
a
not
little
only
different.
do you get the candy, but you get a toy to play with, evidently. That's probably why.
Well, that was the idea behind
That's
it.
probably why
Yeah.
them glass jars didn't make it hurt.
Yeah, because they
Pro-
don't make
Probably
Yeah.
parents got worried about kids getting cut or
Yeah.
hurt, you know,
Well,
because they'd
glass-
drop them and chip them or break them or something, you know, and they'd have a sharp edge and cut yourself.
Well, what kind of pumpkin's that?
Here's another of the
great pumpkin.
Halloween candy bucket pail, plastic trick or treat container. $99 was a buy it now on that one. This one's kind of a weird face on it. That's hard. That's not a good description of a jack-o'-lantern, but it looks more like a human face than a cutout, I guess would be the thing.
Yeah.
So, here's a E. Rosen hard plastic Easter bunny candy container with a sucker holder out of their heads. It's a Easter bunny with a rabbit riding on his back. One bid on that went for $100. A pair of plastic scarecrow pumpkins in plaid jackets candy containers. 25 bids, $93 for the pair of those.
I take it because we're so close. Well, we just went past Halloween. That's why there's so many Halloween.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait a week or two. It'll be a lot of Christmas candy containers. More on there than probably is now.
He just said a word. Put Christmas candy containers.
They start right after Halloween with Christmas.
Yeah.
It's like they skip Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was surprised there were so many turkeys. and
All right.
stuff.
And more money,
Not that
more
many on
money.
there.
in
Just
Christmas.
800 and something.
Oh, just only
600. You were
600,
too quick.
okay.
on
Oh well, that's not even worth looking at. Only
that.
600.
We covered a lot of those Santas
Yeah,
up at the
yeah.
top.
Yeah. Oh, there's a boot.
Here we go. Antique German Dresden boot candy bag container. So this looks like, it almost looks like leather or something like that.
Yeah, like a cowboy
Circa
boot style.
1910. $350 is a buy it now on that one.
What about a paper mache Santa boot?
We'll look that up when we get our break there, so
Sure,
because it'll take me
Steve.
a second to.
I'm just wanting to go unpack that and put it on eBay.
Well, here's the
Well,
sock.
you
You
get
take
it
a
out.
sock,
You
Antique
get it out and
a
we'll run.
stocking.
Christmas stocking candy container, Santa and the Man on the Moon. Merry Christmas. 8 bids, $300 for
Wow.
a stocking.
Stocking to put on before you put the boot on.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Here's-
you get 3 for a stocking. A boot will be worth more.
Yeah.
Here's another one that's looks like it's still in the container,
In the
the
package.
plastic packaging.
Oh, my.
15 bids, $270 on that one. Here's just a German Dresden lithograph cardboard Christmas candy container box. So it's a box, kind of looks like a drum or something. You could like rotate it. It's got 2 bells hanging on it, so it'd make noise when you shook it. 12 bids, $257.
More Santas. Is that a train?
Vintage Christmas candy container from Japan. It's a mica railroad train locomotive. So it's a locomotive with Santa's face on the back.
Uh huh.
$200 is the buy it now. There you go.
Wow.
Hey, what about that trunk? Let's get one more thing. We got.
Yeah, we're getting close to break time.
What about that little looks like a humpback trunk?
Antique German miniature travel trunk, Christmas ornament, and candy container. $195 for the buy it now.
Wow.
You ready to take that break?
I'm ready. Y'all ready?
We're ready.
Okay, let's do it.
Paper mache boot.
Ready.
Paper mache boot. We'll
All
see
right,
what's
we'll have something.
Hello, I'm Picking Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in, get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy pick.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
All right, we're back with.
Wow.
How much was it?
It's only 4 inches tall. That's
Oh,
not,
4 inches. No, mine's
I
about.
guarantee
Mine's,
yours are gonna be a
about a foot, close
$300
to
or
a foot.
$400
That
piece,
makes
probably.
yours worth more.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the 3 or 4 inch tall ones are only going for about $30-$40.
Yeah, that's.
Well, that's 4 inches, so three
Yeah.
times that's $100.
There you go.
Hey, but on the break, Ronnie's got allergies or something this time of the year, and his voice is. Can you talk, or you want Philip to do that one? Let Philip.
Okay, I'll get.
Look at that Batman. Now, don't you? We're talking about a toy here that just sold there.
Uh huh.
You got some toys, right?
A
you have
few.
your toys when you was little?
Well, I had a few.
Just rocks and sticks.
Rocks and sticks, you know.
You sold the train.
Yeah, I sold the train.
All right, so Japanese walking Batman strides in to win $16,800 bid.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Batman first captured the public's attention in 1939 when he appeared on the cover of Detective Comics number 27. Since then, the masked crime fighter has remained in the forefront of American pop culture, dominating all media and delighting generations of children in the form of toys that reflect Batman's complex world of heroes and villains. On October 13th, the classic battery-operated walking Batman coolly strolled across the auction block at Millstone Auctions, and in doing so set a new world auction record at $16,800. Made in post-war Japan by TN, the 12-inch tall walking Batman was new old store stock and appeared never to have been played with. Its original Japanese version box was a rare bonus and depicted Adam West as Batman with sidekick Robin in the Batmobile. There was a lot of action on the toy from all over the world. It opened on our website with an absentee bid of $2,500 and was already up to $10,000 before the auction started. From all that, we can determine the $16,800 selling price is a new auction record for the walking Batman toy.
Ain't that unreal?
Wow.
And there's a few
Yeah.
more toys. Look at that Superman phaser gun.
Daisy Superman Crypto Ray Gun, complete with 6 film strips and instruction sheet in the original box, sold for $2,280.
So
So
we're talking about toys here.
Just toys, yeah. It
Yeah,
probably
so-
cost a couple dollars.
it's a pocket projector though. That's really cool. It's you actually load film strips into it and you squeeze the trigger and it'll progress the
What
film.
we got there?
Circa 1875, Ives Mechanical Performing Monkey, accompanied by the original wood box and applied paper label, sold for $4,680.
Is that the one that clanged a couple
No,
things?
that's a different one.
Yeah, that's
Oh, it's a
that's
different
newer than this one is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Those were like in the 50s. You're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah. You used to see those.
Battery operated.
Battery bang,
Yeah,
bang.
yeah.
And hat
We-
would bounce around.
You
or
got one
something.
of them?
I had one, I think, at one time.
We have a Jetsons Elroy flying the Jetsons space car,
Oh, I like that.
mint and sealed on original card, sold for $1,860.
Oh, my.
And you know, the Jetsons was the 60s stuff.
Yeah.
Remember?
That's the future.
Yeah.
Good old George.
Oh,
Yeah, boy,
before
Elroy.
we're gone here, I think we should mention the passing of somebody that's going to have a lot of influence on
Oh,
collectibles is Stan Lee, the founder
Oh
of
yeah, the comic book
of Marvel,
Yeah.
Marvel Comics,
Marvel,
yes.
yeah.
And me and Andrew were sitting around talking the other day about this, and you think about what I'll rank him with Walt Disney as
Oh, Lord,
effect
yes.
of affecting American pop culture.
Yeah.
And you think Disney's been gone for like about 40 years, and I'd say 40 years from now, Stan Lee's characters will be just
Oh,
as popular
he's-
as
he's-
ever.
Name some of the characters that Stan Lee.
Well, all the X-Men, Spider-Man, the Hulk, Doctor Strange. I'm not sure exactly if he did Captain America or not, though, but somewhere around there. But he was, I mean, he could say he had an incredible influence, and just being a savvy businessman, and his angle on comics were that the superheroes like Superman always was sure of himself and never doubted himself. He was out to do thing, but
Man
Spider-Man,
of Steel.
right? But Spider-Man was like a teenager who was unsure of himself and dealt with fears and things like that. So that's what Stan Lee brought to comics. So anyway.
And he also, at one time they got where they was almost ready to file bankruptcy, the comics, because.
Yeah.
But then,
Then he signed a movie deal.
The movies bailed them out.
see her, all you need is one movie deal.
Now they're huge.
Swap and Shop the movie.
There you go.
Hey, better
There you
than
I
that.
like that.
We'll do a television show, a reality show about Swap and Shop. How about that?
Yeah, that's reality, all right.
Hey, and the reality is no telling what you'll find.
It's hard to say.
Right?
That's right.
It'd be almost like Storage Wars, Howard.
Hey, that's right. It could be Storage Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you send that idea into the reality company and see what they think about it?
I
You'll
can
be
just
a
see the
star
letter I
overnight.
get back. You gotta be
Star
kidding.
overnight, won't you?
We'll go ahead and start a script and
Yeah,
send it
he
in.
was
This
here.
this is where we're thinking it can go.
Hey, you want to hear some more Japanese toys?
Okay.
Of
Yes.
course you do. Start right there with the robot.
Okay, we got a 12-inch
That's Japanese stuff.
Bullmark Ultraman Leo 10-type robot, battery-operated walker toy. Only one bid on that, but it went for
Is that all?
$5,000.
That was enough.
Yeah, I can remember Japanese toys. I don't remember which one it was, but I took one apart one time, and the inside of it was a beer can.
Yeah.
Great.
The print on the outside, it was a car or something, it was
They were
all
short of
paint. But you
metal.
opened it up, and you could see where it had been made out of a piece of metal that had maybe been actually at one time a soda pop can or
Yeah.
a beer can.
They did that, Howard. They used scrap metal
Scrap
to make
metal.
toys.
That was-
And I'll give you a good example of what you just said. I've got, the Coca-Cola lids.
Yeah.
Okay. So on one side is the Coca-Cola lids. This is a piece of metal. But you know what that one side is? It's
Uh-uh.
the bottom side of a train,
Of a train.
like a Marx or something.
Yeah, like a Mark
And if
train.
you open it and spread it apart, you can see where they took that scrap.
And
uh,
reused it or
yeah.
salvaged it some way. Yeah.
Made a train body out
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
it. Are you texting?
Sorry. Okay. Well, back then the cans weren't aluminum either, though. They were
No, they were steel.
steel.
They were
so-
steel, and they were a little stronger, a little
yeah,
heavier.
so that would have been a little.
Yeah, but
little-
that's but see how and it, probably that toy there, if you were to open it up and look inside, you might see something.
And you was talking about recycling. You was talking about glass companies when you grew up.
Oh,
that were in
yeah.
your neighborhood, and tell them where you live real quick, and I'll give
Well,
you.
southwestern Pennsylvania,
Yeah, and what was the little town?
Washington, Pennsylvania.
And what companies? The two glass companies?
Well, there was several in town, but Hazel Atlas was the big. They made the mason jars and the canning jars and
Yeah.
stuff, and other glass products. They had like 2 plants in town, 2 different. And then there was a Duncan Miller, which made the
Specialty
specialty stuff, the serving dishes, and I remember a big glass, solid glass like a peacock. I can remember my grandmother had one of those. I don't even know where that got to, but it was a glass like a peacock or a bird of
Oh, I
some
bet
sort,
it was
rooster, and they made those things. And I don't believe they were blown. I think they were poured into a
Mold.
mold of some sort. And that of course, the Duncan Miller made it through to about mid-50s, I guess. That they went out of business because of foreign competition, because they could make that that kind of stuff overseas a lot cheaper. And now one Hazel Atlas or whether they're even there now, I bet they're gone too, but I don't know for sure
Yeah.
about them.
Those glass companies, they sold, believe it or not, that scrap glass that where stuff broke and stuff. So marble companies bought that
Well,
and made marbles with it.
Actually, I can tell you a little story about my wife. She got out of high school and she got a job for the summer. I guess it was summer, early summer, spring, at one of the glass houses, and they had she was in the packing department, and the bottles would come down this big conveyor. You know, they'd already been molded and I guess went through a cooling process, and she had to grab a box and make the box, and then grab so many jars, inspect them under a light.
Is
and
that
put
the mason jars?
Yeah, there was like canning jars, just getting ready for canning season, and stick those into the container, and they would get behind, so the jars would come off the end and fall and go back down a chute, back down into melt them again, and go back out the other end and come back again. See?
Wow.
Ain't that amazing?
Yeah. So, hey, we're getting close to the end of the program, fellas.
Well, I mean,
It snuck up on us.
yeah. You know what? Though when you have fun, Harry, that happens.
Yeah,
Time flies.
got about 30 seconds.
Okay.
30 seconds.
Talk about the movie one more time.
I got a Japanese 1953 Packard.
Ooh, Packard car.
How do you pronounce that there? Patrician?
Oh, that was their experimental,
Okay.
experimental car.
This is a convertible even.
Yeah.
Japanese 10 type friction car with the box. 53 bids. $3,851.
Family bids are
Yeah.
reserved.
Hey, we got to go.
Okay.
I'm sorry we ran out of time. I got carried away there with the glass house.
No, we like that about the glass.
We'll do
Well,
it again next week.
Remember, what is the name
You know
of
what
this
they say
program?
about
Swap
if you,
shop.
what do they say about don't throw stones at somebody that lives in a glass house? Or
That's
what is
right.
it saying?
That's right. But Let's Talk Antiques will be on next week. Same time, same station. And hopefully we won't run out of time. Bye-bye.